Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Amacha malungi abatukereddeko ku mpewo zaffe za The Alternative Digital okufaluira bikoberege emanya gange nyawo okubaaniriza era okubategeeza nti tuli live on Facebook osobola ogendayo not liking and following our discussions zaffe nobeerako naawe kyoteesa oba kyowabula nozimba eggwanga ly'omuwangaalira olunaku lwaleero lwakubiri ennaku z'omwezi ziri 24 omwezi gwa Okitoba omwaka 2023 era olunaku lwaleero tugenda kubanga twogera ku accident prevention kubanga accidents zibeera nnyingi nnyo naddala mu nnaku ze tugendamu oba ze tutunuulidde ez'ebikujjuko oba ennaku enkulu. Last year nga twakava mu Christmas bannange accidents zaali nnyingi nnyo numbers za rising. So this time round twagadde okujja tubeere nga twogera ku how you can prevent accidents on the road nga munnange tetunnayingira nnaku ezo tusobole okuba nga tuziyingira nga tutegedde kiki ekyokukola butya bwe tuyinza okwekumamu nga tuli balamu ku makubo ate nga tetukozinze bubenje oba tokosezza banna abali mukozesa ekkubo naawe n'osigala ng'oli mulamu. Omanyi mu kuvuga bagamba mbu you assume you are the only sober driver on the road. So tugenda kuba nga tubyogerako biki by'olina okukola, what is causing the many accidents and what we can do okuba nga tusolvinga accidents eziri on the rise. So ngenda kukubiriza nnyo beerako omukulu Isaac Sekataza tugenda kuba nga tutola naye mu studios olunaku olwaleero nga tunyumizamu oba nga atusomesa butya bw'oyinza okwewala mu accidents ng'oli ku kkubo olw'ensonga tugenda mu nnaku nkulu. Abantu babeera high, babeera basanyufu nnyo, abantu abamu bamazeeko omwaka miraculously nga batasuubira nti omwaka yali gumazeeko. So nno abantu babeera basanyufu nnyo, essanyu libeera waggulu, ebiseera bibeera nga bya bikujjuko. Accidents nazo zeeyongera olw'ensonga nti abamu bavugamu nga batamidde, abamu abamu bavugisa kimama abamu tebakebera mmotoka zaabwe nga bava ewaka bagiyingira buyingizi n'atambula n'agenda so tugenda kubanga ate ensonga ezo tuzoogerako nnyo cautions kibi olina checking nga tonnayingira mmotoka yo byonna nkukubiriza beerako ku show olunaku olwaleero tugenda kubanga ate tuyigira wamujagala mbeere nga mpita ayitako mu mawulire agabaddewo munnange nno after 20 minutes also omugenyi wange yagenda kubanga aneegatako and my co-host tunyumyemu ate bwotya bw'oyinza okusigala ng'oli mulamu nengeera otambulira ku kkubo ng'ate okozesa kidduka so ngenda kukubiriza nnyo tubeereko comment section tugikozese esobole okubanga tuteekamu ebibuuzo byaffe endowooza zaffe suggestions ideas zaffe byonna mu comment section awo ngenda kubanga ate mbiyitaayitamu police olunaku lw'eggulo yavuddeyo ne cautioninga public okubeera nga muli bulindaala eri abo abantu abaali badde bemuteebereza okuba nti baba followinga omukulu spokesperson wa police Fred Enanga yavuddeyo n'ategeezaako nti bannayuganda mulina okubeera vigilant nnyo okulaba nti weekengera abantu abakugoberera era ono yategeezezza ako natuwa ekika ky'emmotoka nagamba nti emmotoka ezo abantu bazikozesa nnyo okulaba nti bawambiramu abantu oba babbiramu abantu emmotoka ekika kya Wish Toyota so no yatugambye nti woolabanga emmotoka eyo ng'ekuvaako emabega gyekengere oba sooka okyameko oba opaakinge olabe ki kye bagamba kino no kyaddiridde obubbi obwabaddewo side za wali eluwero ababbi b'emmundu 5 we bawambye emmotoka bano babadde batambulira mu mmotoka ekika kya drone bano bawambye abantu abadde ne gold 8 buckets of gold nga bazitambuza okuva eri Arua nga bazireeta e Kampala baba intercepting zawe eluwero ne bababbako gold yona abalirwamu obukadde billions za Uganda 2.5 billions era bano bakutte ne babasiba kandoya ne babaleka awo nga bababbyeko buli kimu ekyabwe masimu ne sente enkalu ne gold ne bamutwala awo nno we yaviire nagamba na Uganda kati olw'ensonga tugenda mu nnaku nkulu obubbi bweyongedde ndaba ne waffe batandise okunyakula obusawo saawa 3 ekitabaddengawo mtu akusanga n'akunyakulako akasawo so banaye tubeere bulindaala nnyo olaba abantu botategeera weesikemu olaba bali mu maaso gy'olaga togenda such that obeera naawe weeteekeko ka security akatontono ono yatukubiriza yatukubiza nagamba nti mubeere ne specific time gye muggulawo gate kubanga ababbi bayize obukodyo bungi nnyo nti basobola okujja ne babeeranga abakuba enduno olowooza nti ewa naiba weetaaga obuyambi ogenda kufuluma ababbi be bakwaniza ne balyoka bakwambulula byonna byoba olina mu nnyumba so yagambye nti temuggulira abantu bemutategeera oba mubeere ne specific time gye muggula ewammwe nti nga bwe zisukka saawa nnya kugeza toggulawo gate yo ne bwoba okujjako ng'omuntu abadde ku appointment na delayinga era babeera wakonkona confirm by calling them sobola okubanga ate muli vigilant nnyo okendeezaako ku misango egy'obubbi egigenda okubanga gyeyongera mu nnaku zetugenda mu kubanga obubbi bwaga ne Uganda tubumanyi nnyo nti ennaku enkulu busukka so no cautions zino bazituwa sobola okubanga ate we don't fall victim olw'ebintu ebyo ebimu byesobola okubanga tusobolawo okubyewala ono yategeezezzaako nti ababbi bano era abasinga bali mu kutambula ne pangas they can kill so nagamba mubeere nnyo bulindaala abami babbi ba mmundu ng'obubbi bwabaddewo eluweero so tubeere nnyo abantu abali vigilant olaba omuntu akugoberera teyeetagana kuba wa mmotoka ayinza okuba ow'ebigere ng'olaba gaya akwesibyeko weebuuzeemu ngambe bwaye ng'ongoberera kiki oyina ky'ommanja tubeere bantu abali very very vigilant okulaba nga ate tukendeeza ku misango oba ku buzibu obwanditutuuseeko olaba emmotoka ekugoberera egyekengere si kirungi nnyo okutambula nga totunula mabega ate si woba osimbula tunulako emabega olabe ani asimbudde after you era akugoberedde for some time obeere nga ate munnange obeera citizen omwafaayo kibi nnyo okubanga nze situla mabega bwentuula ngenda okutula emabega nga ntuuse si kirungi nnyo kinajjukirwa nti UNEB yatandika last week era kati tubalira ddala nti amaze wiiki namba nga abaana bali mukola ebigezo bya UCE era nga UNEB yavuddeyo nettegeeza nti ba teachers 10 oba basomesa 10 omuli ba headmaster babiri bakwatidde for examination malpractice banono nga bavunanwa omusango gw'okubba ebigezo etwasomera nga twakayita kasasi bafuna akasasi ne bakawa abaana okubayisaawo and we asking lwaki olowooza wandi wadde omwana akasasi tewamuteeseteese kimala tewamusomesezza omwana teyakutte lwaki obeera ku bunkenke ogamba nti abaana kambabbira ebigezo banono bakwatiddwa era nga bajja kusimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka basalirwe omusango gwabwe naye era mu nsonga y'emu ba candidates babiri bafiiriddwa obulamu bwabwe during this examination period banono abaana babiri bonna batutegeezezza nti babadde nga balina ekirwadde kya sickle cells omwana omu yabadde asomera wali eri ku St. Noah Mawagali mu Jinja era ng'ono yamanyikiddwa nga Edwin Wamotale ono nno yafudde nga ali mu bigezo bye ebyakamalizo ebya senior 4 ate omwana omulala abadde mwana muwala yamanyikiddwako nga Celine Ann ono nno yabadde nga moyezi wa St. Andrews Gombe wano mu St. Andrews Gombe High School wane Kawala naye yafudde nga akola ebigezo bye bya UNEB banono bategeezako omukyala Jennifer Kaluleo nno nga spokesperson wa UNEB yategeezeza nti bano abaana babadde basafaringa from sickle cells ndowooza ka pressure akajja ne UNEB biki manyi UNEB ereeta ka pressure ereeta okweraliikirira ebigezo ebyo baba tebakupreparinze bulungi nnyo ebiyinza okuleetera obuzibu so ndowooza y'ensonga yabaviiriddeko okubanga abaluzinga obulamu bwabwe naye nga Minister wa Education omukyala Janet Kataha Museveni yavaayo n'agamba ye mulina okubeera nga muli very calm bino ebigezo it's like any other exam byembadde nga mukola. I think teachers needed to do much to the students okulaba nga babateekateeka kubanga abaana bano tebatidde ebigezo kubanga buli lwoti ebigezo oyinza okubikoleramu ensobi weewaawo n'okubanga ate obigwa naye ng'obadde ne capacity ebiyita so teachers needed to do much okulaba nga ate abaana bano babateekateeka baba preparing okubanga bali ready for exams kubanga osangira head teacher akugenda agule ebigezo abiwe abaana be babibbe azini omwana bamupromoting naye nga si magezi ge naye nga ebigezo yabikoppa nekitegeeza nti teya preparing abaana be bulungi nnyo so nno kyandibadde nga kikulu nnyo abasomesa ne bannannyini masomero okulaba nga mu preparing abaana bano from senior 2 senior 3 ne basobola okumanya nti exam za UCE or USE oba PLE it's like any other normal exam abaana basobola okubanga nti ebibuuzo bino babyetegekera ne babituula ne babiyita nga tebabitidde okusinga abaana ne babeera ne ka pressure ne mubatiisa manyi muyina engeri gye musikayalinga munnyo ba candidates ne kisuuka so omwana agenda okutuula mu pepa nga it is as if a do or die so kyobalaba nti we are losing some of them kusiku ku ngeri ya pressure ejja n'ebyo ebigezo so teachers tweterezeemu sobola okulaba nga ate abaana baffe tubateekerateekera ebigezo ebyakamalirizo babiyingire babikole babimalirize nga teri aluzinze bulamu ngenda kuvaawo kaawo tuddeko sides eri Kabale district omusomesa w'emyaka 31 yamanyikiddwako ng'erya Matt ono no yakwatiddwa n'atwalibwa ku poliisi olw'okubanga ateeberezebwa okubanga yadifairinze omwana gw'asomesa ono no teacher abadde musomesa wa primary ku ssomero erya Triple M Primary School ono yadifairinze omwana we omu ku bayizi babadde nga asomesa omwana ono amannya ge tugenda okubanga twesigaliza wa myaka 17 gyokka era nga kigambibwa nti omusomesa ono yakutte 15,000 as a way to lure this girl okulaba nga ate amutwala mu act era nga ekyobuswavu ennyo oba ekyensonyi ennyo kiraga nti ate omusomesa ono omwana ono yamusoberezaako mu staff room yatekinze advantage olw'okuba nti yabaddewo yekka ku ssomero nga basomesa banne bannyuse awo ono n'atekinga advantage n'asobola okuba nga ate yadifairinga omwana ono poliisi yetutegeezezaako nti wetwogerera ssaawa eno amawulire gano wengasomera omusomesa ono yakwatiddwa era nga ajja kuba nga asimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka sobola okuba nga ate akolebwako baako kya buswavu nnyo nti ate omusomesa alimenti okubanga akuuma abaana basomesa ate yatandise okubanga abasobyako. Stories nyingi ez'abasomesa ezize zitambula nga abasomesa bano taking advantage olwa innocence y'abaana be basomesa ne babasobyako oba sometimes ne bagamba yamulo yakkiriza naye nga sigamba nti omwana abakutya because ffe twabeeranga n'abasomesa ng'omulabanga taatawo oba Katonda. So omwana abakutya you cannot even say no bw'abanga omwana oyo talina confidence kamala kugamba nti ejja gamba no ate teacher ajja kunyigira teacher ajja kunkuba kibooko. Abamu abasomesa abaana be babaganda mubakuba embooko ne babeeranga ate abazizwa omusango omulala. Era nga kigambibwa nti omukulu ono yagambye omwana tobeerako na mulala n'omu gw'ogamba naye mbu olw'ensonga nti omusajja ono yeebase ku mwana muwala ono nga takozesa protection omwana yadduse misinde n'agamba nnyina kwe kugenda n'alopa ewa head teacher kwe kubiteekamu engatto naye n'alopa ku poliisi. Tujja kubanga ate twebaza head teacher okulaba obutavuvu ba nsonga abamu bandyagala okubanga ate bawolereza abasomesa baabwe ogamba kijja swaza essomero ate omusomesa wange ate omusomesa kamugobe naye olw'ensonga nti head teacher ono yasitukiddemu bonnambiro n'agamba kibanga bwe kityo omwana katumutwale omusomesa omusango katugende tugulope ku poliisi sobole okubanga kikolebwako era nga kigambibwa nti poliisi yatuusewo ku crime scene era nesobola okubanga ate eteekinga byebeyina okubanga ekola nga natera okumaliza amawulire gange g'olunaku lwaleero. Olunaku lwa yesterday embassy ya North Korea nayo yajoininze Norway okubanga baclosinga embassies wano e Uganda. Abano in just 1 week abano nabo bavaayo ne baclosinga the embassy here in Uganda for reasons ezaabwe nga bo era n'aba North Korea nabo ba following the suit nabo ne baclosinga their embassy here in Uganda. Era nga omuno wa North Korea diplomat wa North Korea wana Uganda yabadde agenze okwogerako ne omukulu president waffe President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni namutegeeza nti olw'ensonga nti baclosinze embassy yaabwe si tekiraga nti tebakyalina nkolagana wakati wa Uganda ne North Korea naye eno yategezezaako nti ensonga lwaki baclosinze embassy bali mu kwagalako okukendezaako ku embassies mu Africa. Eno nategeeza nti mwe mwatwalidde Uganda era nno kinategeezebwa nti naye enkolagana ebaddewo wakati wa Uganda ne North Korea ejja kusigala ng'egendera ddala mu maaso kusinziira ku musajja oyo erinnya lyesobodde kwogera ery'eki North Korea naye ng'osobola ogenda n'omunoonyaako. So yategeezezza nti yadde nga baclosinze embassy tekiraga nti waliwo obutakwatagana wakati w'amawanga gana abiri naye bo baagala kubeera nga strengthening bo nga ensi ensonga lwaki bagezezaako okulaba nga baclosinga embassies mu Africa nga bazikendezaako zibadde zisusse obungi munnange mwe kyatwalidde neyaffe wano mu Uganda. Uganda is in North Korea. Now if you want to go to North Korea ndowooza ondogenda ku embassy ndowooza mu Kenya naye wana Uganda na bagala ogenda North Korea no you never know, even other countries might fall suit. So tetumanyi just in 1 week 2 countries have closed their embassies here in Uganda. Kibi nnyo naye nga osanga kijja n'emikisa oba n'obuzibu obulala. So nno kinajjukirwa nti last week abatourist abafuna obuzibu eri ku Queen Elizabeth olw'ensonga eyo poliisi yavuddeyo ne deployinga highly oba heavily ku highways ne national park. So obanga okozesa highway nolaba poliisi nyingi nnyo oba ne babayimiriza for check-ups bana Uganda babakubiriza nnyo mu obeying olw'ensonga nti bali mugezaako okulaba nga bakendeeza obuzibu obwandibadde bubatuukako. So there is heavy deployment on highways ne mu national parks mwe abasuubira oba abaplanninga okugenda okulaba nga mu visiting those national parks oba abagenda okozesa highways bwebanga babayimiriza. It is not bad okubanga pulling off noyogerako ne office oba nakebera kyayagala okebera nakuleka nogenda okusinga ate bwonaletawo ka commotion nga ensonga ebadde ntono nnyo. So no bannayuganda mulina okubanga mukimanyi nti waliwo ka exercise akagenda mu maaso. You might be stopped here and there kunaddala ng'oli ku highway olw'ensonga ya security. So we ask you okubanga muobeyinga sobola okulaba nti ate abantu bana ba ADF abagambibwa nti bayingira mu Uganda tebakozinga hamu eri bannayuganda balala oba abo batourist ababa bazze okulambula. Nammwe abagenda mu national parks it is okay okulaba nga bakucheckinga thoroughly tolina kyogenda kuvaako osobola okubanga ate munange oyanguyiza abo abantu emirimu gyabwe naawe n'okola ekikututteyo peacefully nga tolina buzibu bw'ofunye. Tekijja kugasa okuleka n'ogenda nga toli checked ate nottibwa oba n'ofuna obuvune. So kya makulu nnyo okulaba nga ate mukkiriza okubanga baba checkinga oba mugoberera emitendera gye munaaba musanzeeyo ku national parks oba ku highways. Kyonna entegeka nga bweri tusobola okubanga ate tulivinga mu nsi ey'emirembe etaliimu bugozi oba ngenda kubanga ate mpumula muko katono nnyo bwe naba nkomawo ngenda kwegatibwako omugenyi wange omukulu Isaac Sekatanzo ono nga ye executive director wa Center for Accident Prevention and Road Safety Education. Tugenda kubanga twogera n'abagambidde nsonga za makubo. So ngenda bakubiriza mbeereko mpumula mu katono nnyo tokomawo.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704111720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings. Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be normal.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Tukulekayo mukumulamuko ole kumaite drive farira bikoberege manyagange negatiddwako omukulu Rogers tuyahabwe ate n'omugenyi waffe olunaku lwa leero Mr. Isaac agenda kubanga atunyumizamu butya bwoyinza okubanga weekuuma ng'oli safe, butya bwoyinza okupreventing accidents on the road, ate n'osobola okubanga munange otambula n'otuuka bulungi nnyo. Omukulu ono ye Executive Director wa Center for Accident Prevention and Road Safety Education. Agenda kubanga batandika ddi ekirowoozo akijjawo ekisobola okubanga nti agamba atandike organization yani so byonna ngenda kubanga ate munange obiwulira nkubiriza nnyo you can share osobola okubanga ate information enetuuka ku bantu bangi basobola okubanga ate basigala nga balamu. Mukulu Rogers, very good morning.
Very good morning, Farida. Thank you so much for the updates, first of all. It's very important, as we always have said, that people do get the information of what is happening around their communities, because that then informs how we go about certain things. So thank you so much. We do appreciate. My name is Rogers Turyabwe, and today we have a gentleman who is an executive director for Center for Accident Prevention and Road Safety Education. Yes. I'm going to give him an opportunity to introduce himself, but also tell us a little bit about what that center does. What exactly do you do there?
Yes, thank you very much, our viewers. Our host, Dig Talk, simply I'm by names of Isaac Sekatanza, the Executive Director of Center for Accident Prevention and Road Safety Education. This is an organization which I came up with not so long time ago. I think it's about 3 months ago, I can say, yes. But that one doesn't mean that I've not been in road safety. I'm passionate about road safety.
Okay.
It is my passion. It is my love. It is my work. It is my eat. It is my drink. By experience, I have about 20 years in the sector of road safety. So next time we shall talk about much and how and when the experience came about. But today we are going to talk about a few things, the most common norms in road safety, the key issues somebody calling himself or herself a driver is supposed to follow. Those are the basic principles. We talk of driving not as an age-time practice. Age-time, I mean AGE-time. Rather, it is a skill. And most so capped with the logics of common sense. Briefly.
So just to begin from that very particular point, what do you mean by it's not an age factor, it's a skill? Because if it's a skill, and you mentioned a little bit earlier about Porsche, and I hope that you repeat that for the people who are following.
Yes.
If it's a skill, shouldn't I just go to school for 1 week? If it's a skill I inherently have, I should just get out of the driving school and just go and drive already. Because then I don't need to have experience to be a good driver, or to have studied for so long for me to be a good driver.
That is very wonderful. Now, why I say that driving is not about the age type. Like for instance, let me first put this one clear to the viewers. Holding a certificate of driving, let me say, an authentic certificate of driving, that is a driving license, never and never qualifies one to be a professional competent driver. So, if I talk of age time, I mean the period that person has held that driving license behind the steering wheel. I'm talking about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You get my point? Now, I'll authentically say that a person who holds a driving license for 30 years may be a poor driver than a person who has held a driving license for 1 month. I repeated that.
Please.
A person who has held a driving license for 10, 20, 30 years may prove to be a poor driver than a person who has held a driving license for 1 month. How does it come about? Driving is not all about the age, time, the period you have spent behind the driving wheel. It is all about the skill. Driving is categorized. I categorize drivers in 2 ways. One, we have pushers, vehicle pushers, not drivers, where a majority of us lie. That one I will speak with authenticity.
What does that mean?
Pushers. A pusher is a person who wakes up one morning. I will not call it learning, but I will call it juggling. Juggling to drive. Okusindika. Okusindika. Kulinga kusindika chigali. A wheelbarrow, like pushing a wheelbarrow. You know, pushing a wheelbarrow doesn't require a lot of sense in it. You just wake up one day.
Just needs energy.
Just energy. So that's where I categorize some of the drivers. You wake up one day, you juggle driving, not learning, from your father's vehicle, from your mother's vehicle, your brother, your girlfriend, your wife, and then after getting that juggling system, knowing how to steer, changing the legs to pedal, maybe focusing ahead, then you know that you know how to drive. Now you need a driving license. You walk your way to the driving school. I want people to mark this very clear. I know most of you and majority of you, they are culprits. After that stage, you walk to the driving school. What you tell the manager or the management of the driving school is, I know how to drive. How best can I acquire a driving license? I've always got such inquiries from different people, though I cannot mention. But I've been very categorically and systematically very clear. Follow the right procedure. And the procedure that I'm going to tell right now is that one that qualifies a person to be a driver. The other pusher has gone to the driving school, does want to get a driving license. And the next question will be, how much? Like for instance, a figure 1 million. Touches the pocket, counts the 1 million, puts in on the table, then the rest is for the management of the driving school. You get me right? Him will be, when you reach a point of scanning at the driving licensing authority, give me a call. Now the rest of the business is under the driving school. At that point of scanning and fingerprinting, the candidate appears. Of course, getting a learner's driving doesn't require the experience. He has already got it. He goes and gets a driving license, fully certified. Out of the angles I call A or B. Now, such a person from day one to day last will ever be in a road safety challenges with the road safety enforcers. Doesn't know the traffic rules and regulations, doesn't know the techniques, doesn't know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. That is on the road. Doesn't know how to drive, when to drive, and how to drive. Driving, you have to be with the conscience of situations, appreciating the ground. You don't use the common sense. Common sense, I relate it to defensive driving. Now, that one is a pusher. Then a driver, systematically a professional driver. This is the person, no matter he knows or she knows how to juggle a vehicle, walks through the driving school, a competent one. Not all driving schools, they are competent. And if they are instructors or owners of driving schools who are watching me here, I'm stepping in your business, by the way. Not that I hate you, but let us streamline. Let us have procedural techniques of how we are supposed to train both the flesh and the ones who are already in the field of driving. Those ones who may want to undertake refresher courses. Now, this person knows how to juggle a vehicle, but takes the precedence of walking to a driving school, a competent one. He has come to learn.
What do you mean competent?
A competent driving school.
I thought that for one to set up a driving school,
yes,
there are requirements,
yes,
there are regulations,
yes,
they are registered,
yes,
and they have the practice and experience to be able to transfer that knowledge.
Exactly.
So how do we have those that are not competent? That
I may have the money. You get me right? I may have two things, but I may not have the third one. I may have the money, I have the idea, but I don't have the expertise. I wake up one day, because the world is all about business. I say, why don't I set up a driving school? What does it require? Money, first of all. The ideology I have. So I have to get the technocrats. Now, after getting a person who is a technocrat, he'll walk me through how? Through him. I'll give an example. Sorry. Opening up a pharmacy. Not every person opens up a pharmacy. So I may have the money and the idea of opening up a pharmacy, but I will need a person who is qualified such that I have to get the license.
Yes.
You get me right?
That's right.
Push it the other way side. I have the money and the idea, I'll have to get a technocrat.
Yeah, but,
now,
but I would think that even then, that technocrat now does the running, the management, because at least they have the experience. It's not that if you get the license, you're the one who's going to come to the pharmacy and sell the medicine.
That's where I'm coming. Now, everything is set. You have a fully-fledged, registered driving school. Where things go wrong is where people want shortcuts. Both ways. If I own a driving school, much of the blame is on the applicants. Much of the blame is on the candidates in defense of not having time. Me as the owner of the driving school, I may not have the blame because, number one, I need business. If I open up my shop today and the customer comes, I don't think I'll chase the customer away.
You would have the blame because the quality you're producing is one that is going to...
That is why I've said on the other part, but much is on the candidate. Let the candidate walk in and tell me I have come to learn. Where this person, now the subject, the owner, comes into blame is accepting the interests of the candidate. where the subject still accepts to go on the interests of the candidate, that vice won't stop. That vice won't stop. Apparently, the government is trying to streamline that area of driving schools and applicants. There is a system that has been introduced about online examination. Those days it was not there. The government is also seeing the gaps.
So what exactly, what gap is the online examination trying to address? Because even then
now, the other issue I told you about, that a person just walks and dumps the money and waits for fingerprinting and scanning. Doesn't know even where the IOV is. He gets himself having a driving license, a pusher. Now the government is stepping in. Before you qualify to go for scanning and etc., you must pass through an online examination whereby you are examined.
Like the theoretical part of what is supposed
theoretical,
to be.
yes. And the pass mark is 75. You don't know the IOV that is going to inspect you, to test you. You don't know the examiner. You just go on your phone, log in, get a portal, log in, do the exam, and then the results are posted. Then if you pass the theory, you go for practical.
Oh, do you do that? I thought you do practical and then do the theory.
You do the theory first. If you fail the theory, you don't go for practical.
Wait, I am confused.
No, there's no confusion.
Here, wait a bit.
Yes.
So I for example, I wake up today and decide, you know what, I need to go to learn driving.
Exactly. You go and get a learner's driving
and
license.
then, wait, so do I first go to that driving school to study and then do that
Exactly.
online? Oh, I thought you meant the other way, that I need to first do.
Go to the driving school, enroll. After enrollment, you pay for a learner's driving license. Then you start both the practical and the theory lessons from the driving school. Now, where the point misses is the theoretical part. Theoretical part, I mean entirely the general understanding and interpretation of the Traffic and Road Safety Act. Any person who calls himself a driver, first qualification must be a full understanding and interpretation of the Traffic and Road Safety Act. Not just a matter of opening up your Google page and say, what are the traffic rules and regulations? Then you start passing through your eyes. You must read them, understand them, and interpret them in your local language.
Atasoma talina kuvuga because atasoma tagenda soma ebyo bya act.
Anti kati atasoma esaawa etuusa aveemu okuvuga.
But also online examination.
That's what I'm talking. That's where I'm coming.
Optional. You don't. They tell you go for them or you go for this. But I'm just.
Apparently, apparently there's no option.
But I'm just from there. We were given options. You go for online or you don't.
You either go for online
or you go for the other. You choose.
Then I was not yet aware about that.
And most they advise you, please don't go for online. It is hard.
Yes, and indeed it must be hard. The pass mark is 75. Now, if you get to fully understand the Traffic and Road Safety Act, it is hardly for you to face road safety challenges.
So mukwogera ko muntu atasoma talina kuvuga mmotoka kyetuga
akozesa amagezi anoonya amagezi agasoma agasoma. Yes, onavuga oti emotoka nga tomanyi mateeka ga ku nguudo oba ogenda kuvuga ki? Absolutely.
Osobola gansomesa nenga yiga nga siga.
Very good. Noonya okumanya. Noonya gamba nze njala kusoma mateeka oganzivuunulire. Njaga kusomesa nga kuvuunulire. Noonya okumanya. Naye tojja kitwala nti nze simanyi kusoma kangende nvuga emotoka ku kkubo. Ogenda kutomera, bagenda kukwata, ogenda kuvugisa ekimama, ogenda kukola buli nsobi yonna ya ku kkubo lwakuba togamanyi. abasinga bagendera ku framework. Like for instance, I'm going to cite one of the traffic rules and regulations which most people underestimate and misinterpret. That is distracted driving using a mobile phone. Now, majority they have crammed it. Majority.
Sina
kwogerera ku simu nga nvuga.
Bwekiri.
Ompulira bulungi?
Yes sir.
Kuramuwaka sina kwogerera ku simu nga nkola ki?
Nga nvuga.
Era bw'obuuza driver nti bannange nti amateeka g'oku nguudo omanyi eryo mweriri erisooka lyamanyi. Naye omubuuza mitendera ki egiyitamu okukwasisa omusango ogwo. That is where the interpretation part of it comes in. Kati gwe bw'oba wagenda ku framework n'ogenda mu Google n'ofuna amateeka ago n'ogasoma busomi n'otakola interpretation nga bw'olina kola interpretation, then you are going to mess up. And at the end of the day tubalaba eyo ffe tubeereyo mu field zaffe ne tubalaba n'omulaba kayana n'abasirikale biki mbadde soogera mbadde mpuliriza.
Essimu yange bw'eba nga nina call nga ngiteese wali waliwo bwe tuteeka ku screen nga ku dashboard neteeka essimu yange nga eri mu loud nga ndi mu kuvuga eteeka linkwata
wenzijaawo. Internationally, any form of distraction involving a phone is not allowed. You get me right? Because the moment you focus your eyes, you twist. A mere twist of your eye, okuva wali ku focus joyina. N'ogiteeka ku simu. Second says, omanyi ki ekigenda okubaawo. Osobola okutomera. Bw'oba totomedde ogenda kwekanga. Bw'weekanga ogenda kola gye bayita hard braking. Bw'okola hard braking, ow'emabega tomanya naye ayinza okukola ki?
Ng'ajidde ku ggwe.
N'akola ensobi y'emu. So, etteeka likugamba on the safety side of it, program your journey. If you are to use the phone, program your journey. Manye nti sawa bwezi nyina okwogera.
Nyina
okuba essimu sawa bwezi. Pull over. Pull over. And pulling over, kino nakyo kankyogere. It doesn't mean that I should go by the road, put my hazard, and then start speaking on the phone.
Nanti kubo tewabeerawo ezo
genda wali parking
areas ezo parking
bweba teriiwo ginoonyi bweba ebuze kiveeko etteeka terikukkiriza kukwata ssimu eno ng'ovuga. Because the essence behind is okukwata essimu eno ng'ovuga oyagala kukola ki? Lyo likubuuza lyennyini. What is your intention of holding the phone? Like my phone is down and I'm driving. What mind do I form to pick this phone, to hold it? One, I want to check. Ani abadde ankubira. Already the eyes have already
off the road.
Okitegedde?
Yes.
Number two, waliwo message gye njagala okuwuliriza. Tukkirize tugaane obwongo buno obulaba. The moment you divert it, especially ng'ovuga, ne bw'oba oyogera ku simu, however much you are attentive and alert, the moment you mix the phone with the driving, part of the brain goes.
Yeah, that's true.
Oyagala kusoma, bakusindikidde obubaka. Oyagala kulaba, maybe oyagala kulaba ka video. Oyagala kuwuliriza, oba kayimba. Oba ekintu kyonna kyoyagala okukola ku ssimu eyo. That is the mind formed when you are picking the phone from its position to your hands when you're driving. The law prohibits you to do that. And the drivers abali eyo nga mundaba bono bulabe ng'ovuga. Distracted driving or driving while distracted is a danger to your safety and other road users. Desist from it completely. Oba otadde obulamu bwo n'abali mu motoka yo n'abakozesa enguudo abalala obulamu bwabwe obutadde mu butyabaga. That's where I go back to say that it is all about the principle of common sense. Judge yourself. So, judge yourself. Omanye kino kyenkola kituufu. Kino kyenkola kijjamu kyenkola kyenyina okukola. Kino kyenkola singa twist wabaawo twist wabaawo agenda kubaawo ki.
So okuzaayo kemabega katono nnyo. Ogambye driving schools zirina okutusomesa Road Safety Act netugitegeera.
Ye line ya driving school both practical and theoretical. Naye mwe temubeera na budde.
Aba driving school be bagaba obudde obutono. Because omwana ajja n'asaba okuyiga okusoma. N'ogamba buli lunaku ogenda kubanga ovugamu 30 minutes. Kati theory tujja gisomanga ku Saturday ne Sunday. Abamu nno Saturday yokka. Saawa 4 paka 6. And that is done for 1 month.
That is 4 days in a month.
No, 4 days theory.
4 days. Now, okusoma amateeka ga traffic tekyetaagisa myezi 3. Mupya bulungi? Bwe mba mu kilaasi y'abantu 50 exams ne zituuka mwenna mubeera baakusooka?
Nedda, buli omu akwata ekifo kye.
Buli omu akwata ekifo kye.
Kusinziira bw'ebintu.
We have slow learners
and fast learners.
Tulina n'abo ba fast learners. Kati singa tugenda mu kibiina ennaku 4 ne ziyitawo, before the teacher or the trainer assesses you, assess yourself. Ompulira bulungi? Lwakuba kino kyogenda mu kikyo. Driving is not an art. An art, that's where you get a pencil and you are shading or drawing something on a piece of paper. Then by slight mistake the hand twists itself. But after about 1 minute or so, ogenda okulaba nga mistake eyo gyokoze ate evuddemu ka design akalungi. N'okalekerayo bw'otyo. That is not driving. In driving anyway, anyhow, anywhere, if you mess up anything on the road, number 1, expect a crash. That crash has effects. 1, it has injuries, it has death, it has property loss. Those are the results of the crash. Others have lifetime injuries. The leg is maimed. That is point number 1.
Mr. Isaac.
Yes.
Kati bino ebintu ebirala bye basomesa abaana mu driving school tebiri necessary ebya theory. Kulogezanga basic mechanics. We have, I think, road signs and road markings.
Yes.
There is Simanya Kampala City Board, something like that. A lot of things ebiri mu theory.
Yes, I'm coming there. I wanted to first finish up this. Now, waliwe mbadde nkugamba nti driving is not an art. You must be straightforward. After making a crash, those effects, they are there. Now, if you are not affected by such, then of course law enforcement is going to catch up with you. Then if you avoid those 2, then that's your luck. So you should assess yourself when you're in the driving school. Yourself, because where you are going is your safety, is your profession. Love it, practice it with ease and passion. That is a machine, very dangerous. Now, after that, nogamba nti, I think I'm now fit. You may not take it all, but beyond the average, I know and I can interpret the Traffic and Road Safety Act in these 4 days. I have good knowledge about it. I can even challenge enforcement in one way or the other, which I don't know if you can. Now, if you see that you are below average, it is yourself to assess. Musomesa, nkyabulamu. Nze ng'omuntu. bwe tubanga twali tuteesezza ennaku 4 eza theory mu mwezi nyongerayo ennaku mmeka on a private arrangement nze nzije ontangaazeemu wano ne wano ne wano ne wano sisuubira nti ajja gaana.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
About that.
Yes.
So do you think it's a problem of a slow learner, or it's a problem of the regulators and enforcement to know that this package should realistically take collectively everyone this period to be able to be competent to be on the road? Because I feel like now it has gone to the financial side, and everyone will always want the cheapest way out.
Yes.
But the problem is the enforcement has also left it, the regulators have also left it at the mercies of anyone and whoever, according to your financial capacity and financial muscle, to go ahead and get whatever you can get, as much as you can afford.
Yes.
Do you think then it's a problem of the people for not doing self-evaluation, or is it a problem of the regulators to know that people should have this experience or should have this kind of curriculum, or this should be the guidelines to be able to guide that direction?
Thank you. The curriculum, of course, is already set. Then there comes in affordability. Enkoko esonda kenakola ki? Kenamira oba kenalya. If you feel that you cannot afford, then it is to your disadvantage. Of course, the regulator cannot dictate. The government cannot dictate upon what you want and what you should do.
No, they should regulate on the quality of the products you produce in driving.
Those are the measures now it is taking on. Like she has told you that she's from there. Those are the measures. For you, the government is going to wait for you there.
The problem is by the
now,
time they catch you, could have
yourself, it is you who's going to say, I can afford the extension, or I don't afford the extension. Let me go and face the RWAS. The RWAS is there on the road. Basi baba tukwata wa traffic wana encha neguru. Posibye musipu.
Muberamu abalala.
To ovuze bubi. Incidentally, not incidentally, absolutely, nze nchitwala nti gwe ng'omuntu ayagala ekintu weeteekemu omutima ogukyagala era omanye nti nno kigenda ku benefitinga gwe first, then the society ahead.
Mr. Isaac nsakubuuza.
Buuza.
Ebintu bye batusomesa mu driving school obogamba nti sometimes si bye balina osomesa. How come nti bye basomesa mu driving school are the real things they examine you ng'ogenze eri ku testing center?
The real thing they examine are the things you...
Bye tusoma wano mu theory ku driving school.
Yes.
Bye babuuza eri.
Exactly. Bye babuuza. Naye byonna obisoma. That is where the question is. Bwe gaba mateeka nga ge babuuza. Ogasomye ogategedde. Lwawo bajja kubuuza ngenda kuwa ekyokulabirako. Nze sinabagendayo sinabakola exam eyo. Maybe we naba ngenze ku extension. Naye bayinza okubuuza for instance listing amateeka mu mateeka ga traffic listing amu ag'oku nguudo. Sijja gamba ga traffic. Agafuga ebidduka ku nguudo n'abavuzi. Tuweeyo amateeka aga. Ameka?
Ataano.
Bw'oba tewagasoma ogenda gajjawa. Tewali. Bayinza okugirayo etteeka eri limu ne bali kugamba litulambululire. Like for instance, bayinza okubuuza what is distracted driving oba what is involved in there. What distraction is there is physical, there is mental. Mpulira bulungi omukazi yankyankalanyiza eggulo kati n'ebyenvuga sibitegeera. That is mental distraction. There is physical. N'osanga omuntu akutte ecupa ya soda oba ey'amazzi ali mu kuvuga at approximately 30 or 40 or even 50 kilometers per hour for about 3 or 5 seconds. He's facing where?
Yeah.
The roof. But is where?
On the road.
On the road driving. Is it logical really? Common sense. Is it logical? You are at 50 kilometers per hour. Oli mu kunywa amazzi. When enforcement catches up with you, you start saying, I don't know that law. I come up to somewhere you mentioned where the phone is in.
On a dashboard.
There are two things. There is what they call a speakerphone and hands-free. These are two different scenarios. This is speakerphone, but not hands-free. Hands-free, that means you must completely be free with your hands, not holding anything.
Yeah.
So if you are here, some people claim that is in speakerphone. When we do our research, I may decide to go to a certain police station when I'm conducting my research, and I inquire about certain things. Okuyiga tekugwayo nange ngenda mba police abo nenjiga. Get me right?
Yeah.
Because that is where my profession is. That's where I get my research from. Research sijija mugulu. I'm not a Google dependent. I repeat this. I'm not a Google
Dependent.
Google, I go there for inquiry. Then I have to put my science in what I have researched physically to fit the real picture on the ground. Because if I go Google based, then that means I will not teach the other person of Chihihi, Rukunjiri, Bodaka to understand the scenario.
Sure.
You get me right?
Yeah.
Ngezako kulaba nti I dissolve the version, nti I explain somebody exactly the bitter truth. They call it the bitter truth. Gendera kwecho kyenkugambye chikuyambe oba kireke chikufunisa obuzibu kyoganya okukola. Now, speakerphone is not allowed. This is speakerphone when you're driving. However, in one way or the other, that one is allowed. It is in a dashboard, and maybe you are able to, in one way or the other. But it doesn't mean that the law should not catch up with you, because you are being distracted still. Actually, even the law talks about all accessories to the phone. This is already distraction, because you're driving, the mind is here, the ear is there, the brain is there.
But the eyes are on the road.
The eye is already affected, because what drives the eye is the senses in the brain.
Yeah, that's true.
They have to first drive the action to the eyes. The eyes don't drive to the brain. It is the brain to set the approach where the eye should go. Now, if your brain is eaten in one way or the other, then the eye will not do what it is supposed to do at that particular time. So in a simple time, I advise no accessories. Accessories, I mean Bluetooth. That's why I talk of the principle of common sense, logic when you're driving. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have earphones.
I think that's even more dangerous than holding.
Or you have these big blockbusters. Yeah, you call them big bang blockbusters. Exactly. Thank you very much. You find somebody has like 4 heads. He's busy driving. Driving is all about scanning. You scan the environment. All the 5 senses must be at work. Now, I have a blockbuster in the ears.
You're busy.
I'm busy buzzing, booming. Boom, boom, boom. Get the point? Now, a scenario happens. Those days, to give a little break there, those days when we are even up to now, by the way, you may reduce the volume of the radio in the car to be able to see carefully what is ahead. Has it ever happened to you? You reduce the volume
To focus your eyes.
To focus.
to see, but how are they connected? Now, you have a blockbuster in the ears. Something is happening within your surrounding. Maybe somebody is hooting. Yeah, will you be able to know?
No.
Maybe something has happened in your surroundings. Will you be able to know?
No, you can't.
I always see traffic officers on the road with the whistles, because the whistle is an alert. Get me right?
Yes.
A traffic officer cannot shout at a driver.
You can't.
But the most easiest approach to approach and communicate to a driver is through that whistle. It is not only in Uganda. Everywhere, most countries in the world. Now, if a traffic officer blows that whistle trying to communicate an action he or she wants you to do, but you have a blockbuster, you don't even realize, you don't even hear, then you continue. At the end of the day, a traffic officer has stopped you from a distance where you have stopped, or he has forcefully stopped you. Then when he penalizes you, or if she penalizes you, you say that officer is bad.
Aho wenyini tugenda kubanga tuwumulamuko katono nnyo ensonga za blockbuster ndowooza muzitegedde bulungi nnyo. Etukomawo tugenda kulaba butya bw'oyinza okubanga weeteekateeka okuva ewaka, biki by'olina okukola nga tonasimbula mmotoka yo, era omuntu drive omutuufu y'abeera atya, bisaanyizo ki by'aba alina okuba nabyo kulaba nga ahitinga the road nga talina buzibu bwonna. Tuwumulamu katono nnyo tukomawo.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check out at Les Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Up, craft your own footprints.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704 11 1720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Tokolikeyo mukuwumulamuko toba mu kitundu kyaffe kyakubiri kati no mu kino ekitundu mba nsoma ebibuuzo byammwe oba comments zammwe ziri mu comment section. Omukulu ali mu studio asobola okuba nga ate abiddamu bulungi nnyo. Tugendedde mu Bulango tubadde twogera ku bantu abambala headsets oba headphones aziisaani blockbuster nga muli mu kuvuga naye waliwo okubanga sambala headsets naye nga nina music mu motoka. Manyi music system eyo weeri mu motoka. Nzikirizibwa okuteeka music wange n'entambula.
Tekina mu buzibu, tekina sitaani. Osobola okubeera mu motoka ng'olina mu music wo. Tekikugaana kumuzannya oba kuwulira nnyimba ezo z'owulira nti oyagala okuwulira. Naye kitwale nti music oyo volume gy'otaddeko oba eddoboozi ly'otaddeko likusobozesa okubeera ng'okyayina sensi zo zonna nga ziwulira nga ziraba nga zifiiringa togenda kuteekako bizindaalo byonna abamu balinamu
tuteekamu ne hansinga ne sound ne tuteekako endala
waliwo balina extension oba nziyite ki box oli alina ebox yenkana bweti erimu muzindaalo
eri mu bbuutu
okiraba
abamu badjustinga nga ne munziki mufulumya like you have every corner.
It can be surround. I call it surround system. Yes, those surround systems are there in the vehicles, and it is your right. Never playing at least give a moderate volume. Nti volume eyo
jotaddeko
kuba obuyimba bwo bw'oyagala nga tulina distraction iyo.
Like my friend said mbwe aba avuga nakuba obuyimba bwa gospel abeera nga ayogera last prayer ye alabira time
moderate volume naye to booming a sound because that sound have absolutely it affects.
Wabeerawo katugeze abavuga kati nga zine emmotoka ez'abatwala abantu kulambula or something muyinza okuba nga mukuba kimusic kyamwene emabega nga not necessarily nti driver yakikuba naye ngene emabega kikutte ngeri driver kale afokasinze kikirizibwa.
Very good. Kikirizibwa because mwe muli basaabaze mwina vibe yammwe kanjiyite vibe.
Yes.
Vibe ebakutte mugenda kulambula oba mutaddeko ne third party ali mu bavuga mwe ng'abasaabaze. Third party, I mean you are a little bit high. So when you are a little bit high, of course somebody is controlling your brain. That is a third party. Kati muyinza okuba muli mu vibe eyo. However, it is dangerous to the driver. The passengers also, let me mention this. Passengers also play a vital role in making drivers lose concentration when they are driving. Those conversations you converse, muyinza okuba muli conversation driver naye nemukwata akati nagezaako okusika amatu
okutunula emabega oba emboozi
atandika okuwuliriza kyemuliko. So your sounds should be moderate. They should not be in a point of interfering. Ebyo byonna mwe biri nyambala music oyo. So buli kimu olina okulaba two ways. If it doesn't affect myself, does it affect the driver? Your mulaba is the mainstream. He's supposed to have a lot of concentration. He's supposed to have a lot of alertness. He's supposed to have a lot of respect because he's the first key player on the road.
Yeah.
He's the controller. Any mess he does, himself, yourselves in the vehicle, and others, the road users, they are in danger. So he must be accorded maximum respect to see to it that he maintains the extra concentration and alertness on the road.
Okay. Katugeze kati omuntu ali mukuva waka alina emmotoka ye bintu ki byalina okuba nga checking okulaba nti billing position before nga tanatandika mu mmotoka oba byalina okuba nabyo mu mmotoka?
Kati ekisooka mu byonna abamu tulina omuze ozukuse ku makya onywedde kachai, you have refreshed already.
Yes.
Onywedde kachai, you are putting on omaze osimbudde family yo bye ekisumuluzo osimbudde.
Bwekiri abasinga bwekikuwe.
That is dangerous to you yourself. How? Nti it is a habit gyogenda okwemanyiiza ekukuliremu naye egenda okukostinga in the future. Two, you are not giving your machine a healthy life. Tetuvuga motoka oba tetugula motoka nti zikaddiwe enkya tugula endala. Onfuna bulungi?
Yes.
Tugule motoka nti tuziwangaaze. Tutuuke okuzitunda. Tetuzitunda nti zitutamye wabula tutunda kukyusaako. Nti nibw'otandi gitunze eri mu life yayo.
Sikojjako kizibu.
Walimu abantu bakyalina emmotoka zaabwe eza UB ngene eriko currently. Naye nga namba zirye namba. But when you look at, I call them vintage cars. And I'm a fan of that. I love those cars. Whenever I get a person driving such a car on the road, respect. I may even opt, if you give me an alternative or an option, from that one and to this one, what do you pick? I may pick the vintage. Because it has value. that person has respected it. So it depends on how you started with it. Those are the modes, the formulas, and the habits. The moment you wake up, refresh in the morning, if you know that you have a car, in the process of refreshing, go and fast. After refreshing, and check. Mazoku nabako, mazoku refreshinga, genda mu garage, gula motoka nga tunana kutandika switch kuteka mu muliro. Gula bonnet. Checking amazzi. Amazzi galina emirundi eji. Galina reservoir. Kana akadomola akatono. Most of them ignore that reservoir thing. Bwe kakalanga temuli mazzi oba coolant kanjite coolant. Oyinza obutawomesa aweeyo naye oba affectinga yinginiyo.
Ne wali kyogedde bwogezi coolant obadde otubuziza ne reservoir.
Kati kati ka reservoir ako nako kakebere nti coolant waamu oba amazzi gaamu gali ku level. Bwe gaba tekali ku level manya galina we gayita. Of course the machine runs. Yongerako naye tojjuza kayina level yako.
Kayina we gakoma.
Then two, check your radiator. Ayinza okuba weeyisa gye wayise mu binnya oba ki oba kapu yavuddeko ekironga tomanyi. When you check everything is okay, check the engine oil. Cranks ziyinza okuba nga zaayabise wansi oyiro nga yayise. Oba nga ayina waayita mu seals nga zaayabise. That very night you don't know. So gwe noja novuga buvuzi kumbi ovuga engine nkalu 1 2 3 kilometers an engine knock. So check the reservoir, check the radiator, check the engine oil, check the gear oil.
So kino ekintu kikola buli lunaku
every day. Make it a habit. Every day, every day, every day. Like you take it in part of your routine. Nti we malo refreshinga. In the process of being served tea, I'm checking. Then check the tires. Mafuna bulungi. Pira guyinza okuba gwaweddemu omukka. Check the exterior. In simple terms, check the exterior and check your interior of the vehicle. Then you'll be good to go. Then after getting satisfied that both the exterior and the interior is all right, check for the accessories. Is my jack there? Is my spare tire there? Are my warning signs there? You know the warning signs? The reflector triangle. They are supposed to be two, by the way. Because at any one point in time, oyinza okufuna obuzibu ku kkubo. Kati bw'ofuna obuzibu ku kkubo oba motoka efunye mechanical breakdown oba there is something kyesagala kwogera, you don't need to go and break leaves oteeke mu maaso oteeke n'emabega. You are degrading the environment. Amateeka gajja kukwata. So those two warning signs are there to serve that purpose. Naye waliwo n'atabumanyi.
Tabuyina.
Siga tabuyina, tabumanyi.
But these days they've put emphasis on those things.
These days I'm seeing police is doing their best. I upload police, traffic police. Thank you so very much. You are doing the best. I love those guys. I love them so much. Now, when you have those things in place, spare tire, jack, warning signs, torch, you may travel at night. So if anything happens, that torch can assist you. You have a toolbox, there is a wheel spanner, there are spanners. Those are the things you're supposed to move with in the vehicle. If you move with them, then after checking all of those, start the engine. After starting the engine, leave it run, go and take your tea. Exactly.
But now Uganda, now kafta. Like,
and that's where we talked about previously, affordability. If you compromise the safety of yourself, then you are doing nothing. It's like skipping lunch that I will not eat lunch because I'm saving.
So
whose life?
Ebyo byokugamba nti sokoleka engine running batugamba mbu olina kubikola ku motoka za diesel zokka, even
ne petrol. At least let the engine run for more than 3 minutes. At least average 3 minutes and above. Yes, 3 minutes. Those 3 minutes.
What is the importance of starting a motoka yonebeera wongerwa?
Kati emotoka boji parking ekiro. Those hours omanyi obudde bw'ekiro bwanjawulo n'obw'emisana. Obw'ekiro bubeera cool.
Yeah.
So that oil that had saturated in the engine parts, in the engine room, I call it the engine room, the inner room, saturating to lubricate those parts to see that the vehicle works properly and smoothly.
Yeah.
Abazeeyo wansi mu kibox kyayo. Chovola abakugamba ni bwoba checkinga engine oil. Don't check the engine oil when the engine is running or when it has run for some time. Okay. You will not get actual results. Check the engine oil when it is morning. Oil has concentrated back with spot. Kati yenna abadde ali eno waggulu eno mu biki bisumaali bichainizi biki byonna yazeeyo ddawa. Kati bw'otandika butandisi n'ovuga motoka ye ejja kutambula fine. Naye ojja kuba ogikosa obulamu bwayo nti kati ebyuma byo bigenda kubanga byewagala bikalu. Not until oil wana peakinga.
That makes sense.
Wachiraba?
Yeah.
Naye wano bw'ogiwa eddakiika zeezi.
Sato.
Aba meltinze, aba dilutinze, aba atambudde. Even when you start your vehicle and press on the acceleration, you feel that ka sound. Gamba yes. That's where the point is. So, bw'omalaawo maze okunywa akakyayiko, engine ye badde running wali, reach for your belongings.
Tambula.
But before you go still, there?
Seat belt.
There is no these things of, I'm just coming from my home, I should fasten from the road. No. Enter, start, fasten, then scan. You have 3 scans. By the way, ngatonda na kusimbula okuva ewaka osoko checking eyo wansi. Recently there is a scenario, a friend of mine, it is the truth, yabadde azanyira wansi w'emmotoka nga bakagiparking ekizozi n'emwokya. Omwokya emikono, omwana yavula n'emwokya. So it's better you scan. Walimu omwana asobola omupiira wagula essebooti n'agenda yanyumirwa. Oba embuzi, oba enkoko, anything. Kati ate n'ekirala ekiri mu kubikula bonnet yeeyo ebiseera ebisinga ku makya, ekiro wayinza oba wasuzeemu kapusi nga ko mwe kasuzo oba emmesi nga mwe yasuzo. Olaba ostartinga n'egenda mu fan belt. So it's very important, always check, get satisfied that everything is all right, the exterior is okay, the interior is fine, then we'll be good to go. Start your vehicle, fasten the safety belt, carry your driver's license. What else? Carry the copy of the registration logbook. Most of the things are actual.
Nakutambula nayo buli lunaku.
It is a mandatory. A copy. You may not work with the region because anything can happen.
Ntambule nayo musi.
Supposing you are stopped by enforcement, prove ownership of the vehicle. Then you start asking, "Kana mateka gazeti?"
Amailo bookis at home.
The inconvenience is yours.
I have
me one time I was stopped. Yes, and it was not a surprise to me. Do you have a copy of your registration logbook? I said, yes. No, it is their job. That is their mandate. The mandate of enforcement is to keep law and order in regards to that docket.
Let me ask you. I saw, thank you so much for that. I felt like a lot of people actually do not pay attention to those small details.
Exactly.
And a lot of them suffer the consequences on the road. I wanted to ask you about I read somewhere, I read it in some report that more people make accidents from drowsy driving, like sleepy,
Fatigue.
than even people who drive when they are drunk. What I do not know is there in those enforcement and traffic rules and stuff, is there something that talks about anything like that, drowsy driving and how people make accidents? Just from that.
Yes. The latter is a law. You're not supposed to drive while you're intoxicated.
When you're drunk, yes.
Then the former is not a law, but it is a step towards safe driving. Now, some years back, about 10 years back, I faced the same scenario. I think it is, about 10 years back, 10 to 12, around there. I drove a vehicle from Kampala at 5 p.m. I went to Masaka, beyond Masaka, Ruengo. I come from Ruengo, Ruengo district. I passed somewhere, I reached there around 11 p.m. 11 p.m. the night. I slept for a few hours, about 3 or 4. About 3. I woke up at around 5. I started the vehicle, I came to Kampala, up to Bujiri on that same day. I had to still come back. When I was approaching Jinja, it was around 8 p.m. in the night. I went off-road. I slept for about 10 seconds. Good enough, the road was very clear. What woke me up are the trees on the road. This side one. The ribbons. What I did, I was nearing Jinja. I went to Jinja petrol station, Shell. I called the askari who was there. I explained my problem. I said I need parking. So he gave me parking. I pulled the seat and took a nap of 2 hours. I woke up, I took some tea, refreshed my face. I was up for the journey. So, a person who is drunk, the level of intoxication matters. The degree of drunkenness matters to judge. However, you should not even taste. Don't say that I'm going to take 1 bottle or half, then I drive. Don't taste completely.
My head is strong enough.
My head is strong. I can accommodate 20 Nairobi beers.
Yeah, but let me just take 3.
Let me take 5. I will not get any. No! You are already exposing yourself and others to danger. Don't take. Because if you take, the law may not get you, but you are getting exposed. Now, that one I leave it aside. Because much of it is about the law and safety.
Yes.
For fatigue, it is true. Plan your journeys, especially those people who drive long roads. It is recommended every after 200 kilometers, when you are a long distance driver, take a nap. Every 200 kilometers.
200 kilometers inzo tukanga sagala kweba.
Yes, Inga, you don't feel it. You yourself physically you don't feel, but internally it is there. Yes, internally is there. There is where you are there and toli mulwadde. Nengo oliro oli mu kibeera beere
tewewulira
toli mulwadde, you are not sick.
I'm not sick.
Those are body actions. They are reflex. They are real. So goyinza okuvuga 200 kilometers nogamba I'm still steady on the road. Mchali soba nnyo. No, please. Nze bwe mba nvuga emotoka kyensooka biri ebintu I don't drive 10 minutes without checking them. The speedometer and the odometer. The odometer is this one, which the mileage. You get me right?
Yeah.
Especially when I'm on a highway. Then the speedometer, that one I check it even if I'm from here going to town, because that is where my vehicle control is. Temperature, speed, engine check, everything. My control is in the speedometer there. So, a person like me, if I check my odometer and see, because when I'm starting a trip which is long, I set. Then I watch the kilometers. For the speedometer, I go gauging what speed I should drive at which place. Whether, by the way, I always tell people that roads are not racetracks. They are not tracks of competition. Drive your own vehicle.
At your own pace.
So long as you have not inconvenienced the others. Where you see a person is tailgating you from behind with intimidating characters. Intimidating characters, I talk of hooting, lights. Indicate and pull over. Give him or her space. Let that person go. And get back on the road.
But some people, I also see, I'm not an expert on those things, but we're on the express with some gentleman, and we were sort of in a hurry, and it's express anyway.
Yes, it's express.
We weren't that fast, but this person was driving really slowly, taking their sweet time. Now, what I did not understand is that on the road, if, for example, you have double lane, you're going the same way.
Yes.
There's a side that should be for people who are overtaking,
Exactly.
who are overtakers. Now, me, I didn't know that. This guy, he started knocking over. I was like, what are you doing? Do you just pass the other side? I was like, no, ordinarily, this is how it works.
Overtaking. Exactly.
I did not understand. I feel like a lot of people don't even know that.
It is known especially on such a ways that are express. Express, there are no turnings, there are no branch offs. There's even a certain speed limit you're supposed to drive on that.
Yes.
So it is taken that if you are a person who have your own pace, go to the left lane. Such that a person who comes from behind you has ease of overtaking. If he's in your pace, he also remains in yours. You get the point?
Me, I thought you say space, use space. It's express.
That is logic now. That's where logic comes in.
Mr. Isaac, baba tuyigizwa emotoka bagamba mbo emotoka gwe kasitoyi ga steering. Emotoka oboji.
Obokiri.
Kasitoyi go controlling a steering yo.
Oboji easy.
Emotoka oboji na. Is it true omuntu aize emotoka bichi byaba ino okuba nabyo?
Kasito kitwala kanjogereko bintu bibiri. Bw'otwala okustiyaringa ng'okuvuga emmotoka ogudde ekigo sikuwaddeyo obubonero. Bw'oba okitwala nti okubeera ne pamiti kwe kuvuga nawo mba sikuwaddeyo obubonero. Tuddayo emabega wali. Who is a driver? Who is a pusher?
Driver yani.
Driver.
Obudde butuleka.
Yoyo omuntu eyakeera ku makya n'agenda mu driving school n'ayiga ekyo ky'alina okuyiga mu biseera by'alina okiyigiramu nga kiri mu layini n'ekyo ky'ayagala okubeera. Njagala kubeera driver. Driver omutuufu alina kubeera atya? Nja kusoma practical omuli okustiyaringa, omuli okutereeza, omuli okugatta ebigere, omuli okukyusa emikono, omuli okulengera obulungi gye ndaga, naye nga bamaze kunkakasa nti mbisobola. Ani akakasa musawo? amaaso galaba obwongo buli steady emikono gikola bulungi ku driving permit yoko kubeerako restrictions
Yeah.
onfuna bulungi
Yes.
abantu abasinga tebabitegeera kuliko restrictions bwoba tolina buzibu bwonna kuliko nani
Yeah.
bwoba oli wakuvuga nga gwogambadde galubindi bakiteekako bwoba oli wakuvuga nga gwe oli wakugulu kumu bakiteekako era oba olina motokayo so bw'omala okumanya ekyo nogamba ngenze mu driving school kuyiga oba ogenda kufuuka driver lwakuba ogenda kuyiga ebyo byennyini ebigenda okugasa omuli okuvuga emmotoka n'amateeka g'oku nguudo agafuga ebidduka naawe nga mwoli naye bw'ogenda mu driving school ng'okulembezezza ku stiyaringa na kuvuga funa permit oba togenda kuba muvuzi. If you go to the driving school with a primary objective of getting or acquiring a driving license to evoke law enforcement, then you are on the wrong side of the profession. I repeat. If you go to the driving school with the main gist of attaining a driving license to mitigate your factors with enforcement, then you are in a wrong profession of driving. Go and push a cart.
I have one, just this one before you go. You talk about common sense.
Yes.
And I wanted to understand what that is. And especially in line with these days we have cars that are completely becoming autonomous.
Yes.
There are cars that are even around here that if you're driving and you probably lose focus or lose control, it will take control. Now I want to understand what you mean by common sense and please relate it to when all of those things happen, especially when you have cars that are increasingly becoming autonomous.
Now, common sense, I told you before when we are starting this show that common sense goes in hand with the defensive driving. I will not entirely relate it to cars being autonomous. I'm relating to generally driving in specific drivers. Appreciate situations. If I'm to overtake, really, how should I overtake? Ngojeka magezi genaiga, magezi chagenzarwa. What appropriate action that gives me a serious and convenient judgment of what I'm going to do that is going to be favorable for me and the person outside. Nyingire buyingizi kubo. Nedda. Ninakola ntya. Oli ajja kugamba nti nze mu driving in school nasoma nti bwe mba ngenda kuweta nina okuba indicator oyo akitwale bwatyo. So omuntu akitwale nti an indication. Indication is a communication. It is a communication gadget of the driver.
Yes.
Those indicators. Now, somebody will just say that when I'm going to branch off, I must indicate. And indeed is going to indicate. But he will not know that if I'm to indicate, one, I must give time. How long, what is the distance I should indicate if I'm approaching the point?
Indicating
Exactly. Exactly. Omulalo indicating angachuka like these border riders. Their indication is mukono. Olutekayo mukono yenga aweta. That is the common sense I'm talking about. Ofuna bulungi. Use your logic. Much as I studied from where I trained from that I must indicate. But how? Bwembanga nyina jendaga line kubo lisalamu. It is a junction. Most of the traffic jams are self-created. Exactly. They are most created. Because you are going straight, this is a junction. But where you're going, you see a vehicle ahead of you is just at the brim of the edge of the road. But there is a space of a straight line which is flowing already. Because there is no regulator, then you just drive through. At the end of the day, you are entangled. You block all the people now.
Yeah.
You get me right? In Kampala here, if you block vehicles for 5 minutes, it is already a mess.
Yeah, true.
Most people, when I'm in a taxi, you find the drivers complaining. Traffic is delaying us. They are overholding us here. I pray that one day, traffic officers, the management, I pray one day you leave us to control ourselves. Leave us, give us a day, please.
We want to go home.
Give us a day. We drivers, we control ourselves such that we can draw the lines between regulation by enforcement and regulation by ourselves. Thank you very much.
I have, that again, on common sense and the technology, AI, which is becoming. So, in the event that, for example, I have come at a certain speed, there's a car in front of me that's probably has some fault, and there's another one that's coming very fast. There are chances that I will attempt to overtake.
Yes. To avoid?
To avoid a crash from behind.
Yes.
At that particular point, because of the autonomy, the car will take control, will not do that.
Cruise control, they call it cruise control.
In that sense, do you think that then is safe when we do the autonomy, and then how do we function as human beings?
We are now being taken up by that AI, that technology there.
Yeah.
Most vehicles are being fitted, especially with the modern cars. However, we should not rely on them 100%.
The problem is they take charge whether you want or not, whether you are drunk.
Yes, whether you are drunk or not, they take charge, yes. But expect at a point where they jam. You don't rule out that probability. It may jam and fail to take charge. It's like autopiloting. Get me right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Person is in the pilot is in the whatever is autopiloting. Certain times the autopilot jams, and that's how you see.
And people crash.
Yeah, people crash.
Yeah.
So much as you have a cruise control in your vehicle, take it to that you are the controller. Take it that you are the controller. That means you will remain alert. You get me right?
Yes.
Yes.
As well as the automatic cruise control is there, it is also alert. If God allows and it functions, well and good. If it doesn't, you yourself, you alert.
If it malfunctions, you are
It happened yesterday. yesterday, I think it was in the areas of Ontinda. Effects of tailgating. I always advise people when you're driving, especially on long stretches, give yourselves a distance. Because you never know, at one point in time, the person in front of you
to break instantly.
Hard break because of ABC.
Yeah.
Pedestrian crossing, maybe a mad person crossing, maybe a dog, maybe a cow, maybe anything. So if you are nearer to him, then you are going to
crash again.
Bino ebyogamba nti mmotoka tetomera mu reverse mu biveeko, you will be held liable and
Anyampiteko mu bibuuzo bya bakama bange omukulu n'agamba, what inspired you to start such an organization that deals with road safety?
I was born a road safety lover. Thank you very much for that question. When I grew up, went into the working professions, besides what I studied after I studied road safety. I made a course of road safety, regulation.
There is that course. You can go and study.
Yes. Look for them. Look for them, yes. Yes. Look for them, they are there.
Wow, I didn't know.
I'm part of them.
You're part of the
You
people
are-
that
Yes,
have studied.
I'm part of them. So as time went by, because it was the passion and love and the experience, that's where it was, and the study, as I went along, I had to give back to the community. It is a not-for-profit. However, for any running of an institution, you must have resources. So that's why I'm giving you this information. I have not paid these guys. I uploaded them. Thank you very much. Salute.
Thank you too.
And they have not paid me.
Yeah, true.
But what we are relaying here is for the benefit of the community.
Exactly.
So such a civil society organization, and I call upon all civil society organizations, key players in your respective fields and capacities, please let us embrace the system of awareness. Me, myself, I call myself a preacher. I spread the gospel. The gospel, I spread road safety. When I'm in the fields, I spread road safety. Now, where I come in also to tap into resources is a person who wants my knowledge in one way or the other.
Okay. We hear women abuse roads more as compared to men. That's why you will hear, oyo mukazi yavuga. Is it true women are bad drivers compared to men?
Entirely women are good drivers.
You see? Because we
so it is your like, mentality.
You take your time okubako ingo inacho
a woman,
like oyo mukazi.
A woman, when a woman is driving,
before you know it, the reverse in the road.
When a woman is driving, feels like even she should sit in the windscreen. She wants that concentration. You see that guy is in her, that is zeal. She wants to watch even beyond the windscreen, such that she can see what lies ahead of them. But it's very dangerous.
We are like oyomuyiga.
But it is very dangerous. They are not Baiga, but there is a way they want to feel the action they are doing.
And to be sure.
Be sure. When, however, not all of them.
Naturally, women are more careful.
But majority, they are careful.
Yeah.
So women are better drivers than, in one way or the other. They are better drivers.
That can be
men are rough. Men, you are rough. Men, you are rough drivers.
Rough driver. Tuboza nagamba, who is a rough driver? Careless driver and a reckless driver.
In a rough driving, we have what they call road rage. Road rage is exchange of actions. Maybe verbal, maybe gestures.
Zino bino yetubala.
Vao nawe. Ukole kati gokola chi. Keda maso nawe. Such are intimidating things.
That one is a rough driver.
That's because a rough rider even includes these lights. Hooting. Because by the time the times you hoot to that person is ahead of you, maybe he's waiting for certain thing.
Yes.
Either for traffic to move, or somebody to cross, or anything to clear his way, then he moves. But when you constantly hoot and hoot and hoot, may be intimidated and forced to do an action which may pose a danger to others and himself.
Yes.
So avoid road rage. Be patient. What drives a vehicle? There are two things. People should mark this: patience and skill. Skill involves the logic. If you are impatient on the road and you're a driver, road rage is going to arrive. Impatience, you will have lane discipline will go. Yakwagala okukyusa leeni olaba ono tatambula
papo deri
waliwo jeri
mwawule wakati w'okupapa n'okwanguwa nga muvuga. Waliwo okupapa, waliwo n'okwanguwa. Ojja kwagala okupapa ate oluusi bikuviiremu atodire na nnyo. So you be patient. If you are patient, if you have patience as a keen driving, then you have mastered the game.
Careless driver?
That is also impatience.
In this speed.
Speed is also all about impatience. Bw'oba ogenda Masaka n'ovuga 10 n'envuga 7 ojja kutuuka wayitewo eddakiika 15 oba 2 nange oba 7 ntuuke. Olaba bw'ofiira mu ddakiika 2. Olaba bw'ofiira mu ddakiika 10. Impatience. Vuga kisaawa kyo.
In your view, what age bracket abuses roads most?
18 to 35. Yes.
18 to malala.
Pride. Kati abaana b'omulembe guno bakuze mu mbeera ffe gye tutaakuliramu. Okiraba? Nze mmotoka gye nasooka okulinnya yali tippa. Onfuna bulungi? Okulinya nga nkyali muto. I think I was about over 7 years. Yali tippa. Tugende eyo mu Mbarara eyo mu kyalo nkaaba n'okaaba ndaba ebintu bitambula ku kkubo naye omwana agenda okutandika okwogera ow'ennaku zino ng'ali mu moto. Get me right?
Yeah.
So by the time he reaches 18 to qualify for driving, motoka ng'agimanyiira dda. Kati eyo pride either waliwo n'atuuka 18 bagimugulira obange weeri already. Ngemulinda aweze 18. So that person has pride. That person has everything in himself or herself. So abakitwala nti is above everything. So aka 18 to 35, that age bracket yesinza okubeera n'obuzibu obungi ku kkubo.
Tewaliwo ngeri gye basobola kubanga babakwasaganyaamu babakakkanyaamu.
One, road safety is a shared collective responsibility. Don't leave us to us the key players. The key players, I mean the government, private stakeholders, and the civil society organizations in the line of road safety. Road safety should be your meal even at home. Road safety should be even your meal when you're driving. Advise your sons, advise your daughters, they go for refresher courses. They look for road safety education. They look for knowledge. Above all, they counsel themselves. You get me right?
Yes.
What I'm doing is wrong, I should desist. What I'm doing is right, I should maintain.
Okay. Kainda Eddie Agamba, the owners of driving schools are the leading causes of accidents on the roads because they certify substandard drivers. There is need for thorough regulation by government.
I agree.
That one, I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think, Ethan Mwine, do you think it is important to re-evaluate and update driving tests and requirements to reflect changing road conditions and advancement in vehicle technology?
Exactly. I think I urge government to do that. They should go in line parallel. Things have changed. Road conditions, even the laws themselves. Technology has advanced.
Yeah.
Systems have changed. We are now trying to look at a safe system approach towards road safety. And I think that is the roadmap, the roadmap the government is embarking on. Step by step, things will go changing gradually until the last dot.
Kaliango Musa Mtesasira, much as we claim to be drivers, we do not follow traffic rules in Uganda. Last time I drove on the Ugandan roads was way back in 1998. That is real bad. The traffic is way overcrowded with road users like borders, sometimes animals to mention but a few. It is difficult to have laws in order with such issues to solve.
That's what I was going to tell him. Have discipline in yourself. Don't do something because of a situation. Do what you are supposed to do yourself. Leave the rest of work to the rest. Do what you are supposed to do. Bosanga kabonere ko kungudo kagondere. Bukaba ka bisolo kagondere. Bukaba ka pedestrian kagondere. Oba waliwe moroka nyingi, boda nyingi. Appreciate the ground omanye nti no kati waliwo traffic. Built up areas, I recommend 30. And most of the built up areas, they have a 50 kilometer mark.
Yeah.
But to be on the safe side, built up areas should be 30. And in purely city areas, I recommend 20. At 20, you can control your vehicle at any point in time. At 30, you can control your vehicle at any point in time. At 50, you can still be. But the more the speed, know that is the severity of the impact.
Yeah.
About driving school bagambo inakuvuga 30 kilometers mu city nga Kampala.
Yes, that's what I've talked. But me, myself, I would advocate for 20 in bigger cities like Kampala. Then outside built up cities,
50.
No, 30.
Outskirts.
Yes, 30, yes.
Zebatugamba 50.
50, Zebabagamba 50, me I would love 30. Okay. Then Wabagamba 30, 20. Me I would love 20.
Highways.
Yes. Highways,
70.
Highways, you see me? I'm always between 7. Where there is no speed meter mark.
Yes.
Or where there is 100. Where there is beyond 80. I'm between 70 and 80. I don't go beyond that.
Owe bagamba 70 and above.
I don't go beyond 70 and above. I'm between, or anyway, on a highway. If there is no mark below 50, below 70, I'm always between 70 and 80.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You never go.
I never go beyond that. Then where there is 70, that one I respect. Where there is 50, I respect. And if you are a regular user of that road, you know where those marks are.
Yeah.
Or if you are a driver who is alert, a person goes to USA, UK, today, tomorrow is driving. Why? Alertness and concentration. Follow this way. Road signs. Only. Follow this side. Follow this way. Go straight. Branch left. Branch right. So if you are a careful driver, much as you are not a regular user of that road, make your visibility very, very clear. Where there is a road sign, you will see it and you will interpret it.
Webale nnyo ndowooza tujja kwebaza nammwe abazze batukolera bu video waliwo bu video butambula nga bakulaga nti bw'oba ofunye accident with this kilometers ng'obadde ovuga 30 bw'oyinza ofuna bukosefu bwe buti ne bagenda nga bongeza 50 ne bagenda nga bongeza 70 so you know nti wenaavugira ekyenda bwena supposing ifunye akabenje obulamu siina naye ng'ate osobola okufuna akabenje ng'ovuga 3 n'osigaza obulamu bwo n'emmotoka neetakusebwa nnyo. Mr. Isaac angenda kukusaba otulekereyo obugambo nga bw'osiibula abatulabye olunaku lwaleero akatalekeka.
Akatalekeka kenyinza okusiibuza abavuzi. Ekisooka omuvuzi yeggwe master key w'ekidduka. Beera ng'oli soba essaawa yonna. Goberera amateeka ag'oku nguudo. Beera n'empisa mu mmotoka gy'ovuga ne mulimo gw'okola. Mu ekyo ogenda kuba okoze otya? Ogenda kuba ng'otaasizza obulamu bw'abantu bangi abakozesa oluguudo. Oluguudo olwo lukozesa abatambuze ab'ebigere, lukozesa abavuzi abalala ab'emmotoka, lukozesebwa abasaabaze mu mmotoka ez'enjawulo, lukozesebwa n'abantu bonna abakolerako ebintu eby'enjawulo ng'abavuga eŋŋamiya. N'olwekyo buli lwoba nga tobadde na mpisa gwe nga driver key player n'ovugisa ekimama n'ovuga speed nyingi n'otagoberera woyina kuyita n'otagoberera amateeka ga ku nguudo ogenda kukosa obulamu bw'abantu abakozesa oluguudo. Buli lwokola ensobi ku kkubo manya nti oleesa ebintu bisatu wammanga. Ekisooka ogenda kulumya obulamu bw'omuntu lwakuba ogenda mutomera. Ekyokubiri ogenda kukosa ekidduka ekirala eky'omuntu omulala oba sinakindi n'ekikyo. Ekyokusatu ogenda kutta. Kati oyo gosse oba gw'olumizza kitwale nti muntu wo. Buli lw'onaateeka ekigambo ekigamba nti buli akozesa oluguudo muntu wange, tujja kubeera abavuzi balungi ku kkubo. Mwebale nnyo tuwuliriza, mwebale kutulaba, mbagaliza olunaku olulungi, muvuge bulungi, Mukama abankuumire. Nsigadde ndi Isaac Sekatanza, Executive Director, Center for Accident Prevention and Road Safety Education.
Tweyanziza nnyo tweyanzege mukulu Isaac ndowooza tujja kuzza mu biseera bya Christmas awo obubenjera bubeera waggulu nnyo oyogereko eri abantu tujja kwebaza nnyo webale tuwa mukisa kukkiriza n'ojja n'osomesa abantu baffe webale nnyo webalire ddala babaddeko mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala mwebale commenting emba comment yo sigisomye kitegeeza ati ekibuuzo ogenza okkibuuza nga baakibuuzizza ddanga omukulu amaze okukiddamu so ngenda kubeebaza mwebale nnyo okubeerako information etambule gwatannayiga mmotoka ndowooza ofunye basic information ogenda mu driving school ng'omanyi by'olina okukolayo abadde ku kamera webale kola nkoze n'omukyala Teddy Tenjo nabukera ku kamera omukulu mukose Arnold Anthony mu control room ate my co-host abadde Rogers Jahabwe mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala tusinkana olunaku olw'enkya essaawa zigenda kubeera 2 paka nye. Very good morning mbagaliza olunaku olungi.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.